Buon pomeriggio a tutti. Good afternoon to everybody. I thank the organization for the Congress for inviting me here. I would like to give special thanks to dear colleague Stefano Bergamasco for the opportunity to talk about the history of a relationship that I hope can be a unique case study and not a common experience. My Italian friends know that I like to begin my presentation with the definition of the main words of the title of the presentation. These two definitions of medical informatics and ICT have been chosen among a lot of possible different definitions because the word engineer or engineering does not appear in either. And I asked to me, what does it mean? Engineers are not important for medical informatics or for ICT? Every day we read many articles where you want to talk about medical informatics and ICT, you must talk about artificial intelligence and its relatives, such as machine learning, speech recognition, and so on. In this presentation, I will not talk about AI, but I'll tell you the history of the relationship. Because AI is a future roof that needs strong pillars from the past. I will tell you the history of the relationship between the clinical engineering department and ICT department in my hospital, the University Hospital of Modena, Italy, in the last 20 years, from two different points of view, because I was the chief of the clinical engineering department from 1994 to 2015, and CEO of ICT department from 2015 till now. In my experience as chief of clinical engineering department, sometimes the relationships with the ICT department seem like a tug of war. Other times, the relationship seemed like a match with an horse board. Whoever works in clinical engineering department, the ICT department in Italy, every day has experienced difficulties of this relationship. What are the origins of communication difficulties? It is a role problem. Who is the customer? Who is the supplier? Is the problem of timing? It's always too early or too late to present a project. It's a problem of knowledge of each actor's priorities. In this presentation, I'll talk about some experience as chief of clinical engineering department in relationship with ICT department and how I see the relationship now as CIO. I think it's very easy to build barriers on the border rather than bridges. But the future of technology in the hospital will have to see a new collaboration among technicians from different cultural backgrounds, or nobody will see this future because managers will search for other people to reach their goals. In this slide, I present a simple project started in 2002 for an ECG network. Our goals were to never use ECG paper and to report and store in a digital way the ECG trace. In this scheme, you can see how the manufacturer has projected the connection between the different devices of the network, ECGs, electrocardiographies, reporting workstations, server for storage. We assigned this project to ICT debt after we bought the system. Probably this was the first mistake. The ICT department didn't accept this type of connection of HCC devices to the company network and didn't host the server in the data center. They only connected workstation server all-in-one to the network, but it took a long discussion with the ECG company to find the right configuration for network security and correct functionality of ECG system. It was impossible to connect electrocardiography directly to the network. The only way was a RAST-232-port connection between electrocardiography and nurses' PCs. After every ECG examination at the patient bedside, it was necessary for nurses to go to the staff room from the patient room to the staff room to connect the ECG to PC. You can imagine how many pins in the RS-232 plug was broken and how many cables we changed in those years. In this way, the network security was guaranteed for ICT department. And my colleague of the ICT department said that eventually a software virus in electrocardiography could not contaminate the network because the PCs were protected by virus. Electrocardiographs was seen as a USB key. Our colleagues said that the project, it was an advantage, their project, to put the storage and the reporting function together in the server instead of two different IT devices to save money. One station, not two stations. And last, not least, they said that with this configuration, data center was not involved in bi-direct connection to those alien devices called electrocardiographies. Another experience as a CE department was the installation of new RIS-PACs in the year 2004. It was the first PACs for the hospital, but RIS was previously installed in 1990 based on IBM system. My department, CE department, wanted to integrate an integrated solution, changing RIS, to give radiologists just one workstation to use. ICT didn't want to change RIS because there were 14 years of medical reports and the system ran very well. Radiologists decided to approve CE department solution. ICT department decided not to participate in writing the requirements for the new system. Now, RIS-PACs is your problem, ICT department said to our department. The result of this type of collaboration with ICT was that the servers and the network area system was installed outside the data center in an adapted room previous used as medical staff office. The RIS-PAC system was installed in a subnet domain. Then it was impossible to use different software on board station. It was very hard to integrate the master patient index to RIS-PACs because of the trust between two different domains. A specific and dedicated order entry was adopted for the medical division of the hospital to request examination, read radiologist reports, and look at radiological images. We can say that the safety of this RIS-PACs installation was not high because the server room was 1 meter under the road surface. Inside, near the MRI rooms, inside the MRI building, split ceiling cooling was installed in the server room and sometimes caused water to leak onto servers. And there was a redundancy on the power supply, and we use only UPS to guarantee electrical continuity. A new advanced hospital data center was started after 3 years in 2007. But we couldn't transfer RIS-PAC server and NAS because the data center used only DAS-type server, meaning that each server had its own dedicated internal storage. Virtualization was minimally used, and NAS systems and SAN systems weren't present. And overall, there was no inclusion of not ICT system. Between 2005 and 2015, a lot of medical software were installed and standalone PC, not connected to internal network. It was necessary to use a client-server solution for remedy software systems. It was possible to connect them to the ICT department switch, but in a different local area network. They were not physically connected to the data center, and servers could not stay inside the data center cabinets, and a lot of other little problems. And I thought, and I think still now, why of this way, this competition between the two departments. And these are some topics. Let's try to understand the reason for these communication difficulties. For C department, probably is more important answering to physicians' request with an innovative solution, reaching a more technological advanced solution for satisfy the requirement of physicians and nurses, guarantee the C mark with the configuration defined by the manufacturer, to have an in-depth knowledge of the technical specification of the medical device, and is less important, perhaps, correct identification, for example, the patient using MPI, correct identification of the nurse or doctor that used the medical device. IT security problem, because C departments is sure, generally, that if patient safety is guaranteed, IT security is guaranteed. It's not true. To ask the ICT department about the security requirements to put in the technical specifications which the supplier has to respect. But the same things we can do for ICT. In this ICT department, in the same way, it is more important the respect of the minimum security requirements defined by law, by standard, by company, sometimes by ICT department, the security of the infrastructure, the security of the PCs against virus and others, the quality and the integrity of the data flow inside and outside of the hospital, the business continuity, the disaster recovery. This is the mantra for ICT department. And in the same way, perhaps there is something less important, technical performance of medical device. You remember the project of ECG network by ICT. Requirement for usability of medical devices for doctors and nurses. How medical devices are involved in the workflow. The reason for the choice around medical device security implemented by manufacturer. To explain to the C department the reason of the security policy adopted by ICT. And the listening is not important for ICT, listening to the reason passed on by the C department to try to combine patient safety and IT security requirements. A new challenge in 2015 for me to become CIO of ICT department, the opportunity to understand a different way to work before and the possibility to change something after. This was my to-do list at the beginning of my new job, and after 4 years, I can say that I changed the chief of the data center, first of all. We implemented a new architecture for storage, only SAN. A new architecture for server was implemented, and we have more than 200 servers all virtualized. We have a virtual LAN for every MD software client server solution. New software open source for many applications, not only by Microsoft, by Oracle, and so on. Pack servers and disk transferred inside data center, finally. Transfer dispersed MD servers to data center. And we are going to build a new roundtable where C department, the ICT department can discuss every new project around medical device software. We use data coming from medical device software to create a new data warehouse to transform data into information, and informations not only for physicians, but for managers, for the policymaker, for all the stakeholders. IT security and patient safety can truly stay together in a unique, connected network and not in separated networks. We are trying to look in the same direction now, and to row together. Until now, we have not always reached these goals by staying at the same side of the desk. That it must be the gold standard to work. However, I can say that with a continuous effort to exchange the information in the right time and the right way, we will be able to say in the near future,
it can't work!
thanks for your attention.